Another year, another team Kyrie Irving has moved on from. One can only ask the question, why is it that such a talent cannot seem to stick in one spot despite the high prospects whenever he gets there? This is the second time Kyrie has been traded in his career after being part of a roster that had championship aspirations. The first time it happened with the Cleveland Cavaliers, you might have understood why he wanted to leave. At the time, the situation drew many comparisons to that of Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant when they parted ways. It is unclear what the driving force was behind Irving's trade request in this instance. The media painted the situation as Irving wanted to lead his own team in spite of 3 straight trips to the NBA Finals alongside LeBron James. However, Irving stated the franchise had future plans that he just did not want to be a part of, which led to the split.
And I say this, I asked for a trade because I was looking for something different. I was a man of my word. When I went to the organization, I sat the higher ups down and said, look, I know y'all have future plans. Tell me right now. They told me their future plans. I said, look, this isn't for me.
That's right.
Share that with them. Didn't get a chance to talk to Bron before the media ended up coming out and saying that I asked for a trade. So I go over to China and I'm on my Nike tour. Somehow the news gets leaked while I'm in China. I'm not even on American soil right now.
That's crazy.
To be fair, we can assume the truth is somewhere in the murky middle. While many disagree with the decision, the prospect of him joining young talents like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and a proven all-star in Gordon Hayward had many excited to see how it would play out. Unfortunately, Hayward's ankle injury from the beginning of their union was an omen for how things would go in Boston. Injuries plagued both Irving and Hayward, which led to the young stars in Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown shining bright in their absence. However, the team's chemistry grew darker and darker as a result. Irving's questionable leadership came to the forefront as it seemed he and his young teammates could not work out a cohesive dynamic. It did not help when he sometimes took to the media to air his frustrations trying to lead the young group, which seemed to expand the rift within the team, especially when it came to some of his erratic behavior in their postseason flameout against the Milwaukee Bucks in 2019. At that point, it felt like the writing was on the wall. Despite a promise made to the Boston fans,
shared it with some of my teammates as well as the organization and everyone else in Boston. You guys will have me back. I plan on re-signing here next year.
Boom! Irving would take his talents elsewhere in free agency. The Brooklyn Nets era led by Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving began. Again, it was another stop plagued by injuries. Durant entirely missed his first season as a Net due to his Achilles injury, and Irving appeared in only 20 games. Then the team went out and got James Harden the next season, creating a big three many thought would be unstoppable. Unfortunately, that big three would only play in a total of 41 games together over the course of an entire year, including moments where Irving was unavailable due to personal reasons not known by the team. Just imagine that premise for yourself now. You miss days of work and your employer have no idea why. Unless you're incapacitated due to a medical reason, many employers would say, "You're fired." It was definitely a flash in the pan moment after Harden requested a trade at the following season. At the same time, the team was dealing with the ongoing issue of Irving not being able to play due to the New York vaccine mandates that year. There was much speculation linking Irving's vaccination status and availability to Harden's growing desire to be traded. Guys, I hope you're enjoying this video, but please make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I want to make sure we're making this channel grow. So each person who watches these videos and subscribes does help out the channel a lot. So make sure you guys go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Now let's get back to the video. Harden even released a statement after Irving and Durant were traded.
Imagine by the time you came back, Kyrie and Kevin would be gone. Yeah. Really? I mean, I didn't just actually leave for no reason. A lot of dysfunction. Clearly, you know what I mean? But there was a lot of internal things that I'm not gonna never just say or put in the media or do anything. And that was one of the reasons why, I chose to make my decision. But now, fast forward to date, I don't look like the crazy one. I don't look like the guy that, or the quitter or whatever, the media want to call me. Like, I knew what was going on, and I just decided to, hey, I'm not built for this. Like, I don't want to deal with that. I want to play basketball and have fun and enjoy doing it.
It's hard to gauge how much of this was linked to the Irving vaccine controversy or the inner workings of the franchise. All of it just seemed like a mess. That's enough drama to premise an entire documentary. And guess what? We're not even done yet.
Help me! Help me! Nigga!
I have yet to speak on this season where he wanted to be traded before it even began, only for the Nets to hold on to him in hopes of making a playoff run that looked promising. Until again, Kyrie found himself in the news for controversial reasons. It was another instance of where his actions landed him in trouble, but rather than outright apologize for his mistake, he spoke in a roundabout manner that did not outright apologize for his prior actions.
Kyrie, for the record, do you have any anti-Semitic beliefs?
Again, I'm going to repeat. I don't know how the label becomes justified because you guys ask me the same questions over and over again. But this is not going to turn into a spin around cycle of questions upon questions. I told you guys how I felt. I respect all walks of life and embrace all walks of life. That's where I sit.
I think what people want to hear, though, is just a yes or no on that question. Yes or no.
I cannot be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from. I cannot be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from.
That was the straw that did break the camel's back. It was the first time the Nets organization publicly stood against Irving and suspended him indefinitely. This all seemed to be the impetus that has now led to him being a Dallas Maverick and playing alongside Luka Doncic. Now, in no way at all is this me saying that every single issue that occurred in each destination was his fault. His previous Celtics teammates have said as much.
I feel like everyone wants to blame Kyrie for last year. Set the record straight on that.
No, it's not Kyrie's fault. There was 15 guys on that team, and coaches and front office. Everybody played a part in that, and I feel like he gets a lot of blame undeservingly. He's a great person. We still have a great relationship. He helped me out a lot on and off the court in my first 2 years that I'm thankful for. But he shouldn't get all the blame or any of the blame.
However, it seems as though each place Kyrie has come and gone from, the issues came and went with him.
Oh, really?
While one would like to believe Kyrie's learned from his mistakes, his Mavericks introductory press conference was not promising.
But for me personally, just sitting in the seat today, I just know I want to be places where I'm celebrated and not just tolerated or just, kind of dealt with in a way that doesn't make me feel respected. And there were times throughout this process when I was in Brooklyn where I felt very disrespected, and my talent, I work extremely hard at what I do. No one ever talks about my work ethic, though. Everyone talks about what I'm doing off the floor. So
the Nets management is by no means perfect, and I do not agree with all their decisions concerning Irving. However, Kyrie is the one that put them in these positions in the first place. It's not only that either.
This is the worst.
There seems to be something lost in translation upon two of his departures. When it came to his Cleveland and Brooklyn exits, his co-stars were both left in the dark surrounding his trade request. While he explained the Cavs trade got leaked before he could tell LeBron, there is footage of him on First Take stating he had no obligation to tell LeBron about his request in the first place.
Let me go someplace else. Did you speak to LeBron James or talk to LeBron James before you and your representatives met with ownership and let them know that you wanted out?
No.
Why not?
Why would I have to?
Then there is Durant, who even said he had not been in communication with Irving leading up to the trade request.
What's your reaction to Kyrie's trade request? Is there any part of you disappointed that you couldn't have finished what you started?
Yeah, I was upset that we couldn't finish. I thought we would have some good momentum. We were finally building the culture that we always wanted. I felt like every game we were building our chemistry. But I didn't know what was going on with Kyrie and his situation with the organization.
Very solemnly, do you hear a player in the news for negative reasons so frequently? Try to think about the last time a player was discussed for more negative news than Kyrie. The only person who comes close is probably Russell Westbrook, but strictly for on-the-court issues. Irving's issues so often take place off the court. There's a big difference between a worker whose skill set does not mesh with the team that they're joining and a worker whose off hours find them at odds with the management. The Nets roster made sense on paper, so much less that they have been top 5 favorites to win the NBA championship each season outside of Durant's Achilles season. However, basketball games are not played on paper, and everything surrounding the game itself left its mark. Kyrie and Luka are another pairing that can make sense on paper, although one can only wonder if this will be just another stop where we are left with more questions than answers in regards to his tenure there. All right, guys, thanks for tuning into this video. Of course, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that post notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Let me know what you guys think about Kyrie and if you think he will find a home in the Dallas Mavericks or this will just be another pit stop. Obviously, I don't want to have the perception where I'm just putting everything on Kyrie, but when it seems like every single time, every place he goes to, there's always a lingering path of issues that come with it, you start to wonder. You can't assume that every organization is just kind of inept, right? That you would hope that the one guy goes to, but it's always like his time there, because since he left, Cleveland Cavaliers now seem to be running themselves pretty fine. Boston Celtics, since he left, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, they built a quality roster. The Nets, we'll see what they do, but even before Kyrie and Durant had gotten to the Nets, they were a team that was also like a solid team that was bringing up young talent, had a really good development structure there until those guys came and they became a championship or bust type team. So it's one of those instances that I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think. I really do want to know what you guys think about this topic in this video. Of course, make sure you guys follow me on social media as well. I do always appreciate that. Follow my KBR Sports social media pages as well so you can stay up to date on any new content dropping on there. And of course, guys, make sure you also leave a comment on this video because that does help the algorithm. Make sure you drop a like as well. And of course, guys, until next time, I'm out.